I was in an 8th grade English language arts class at my second placement, and there they have RTI blocks, and they divide their blocks based on what tier each student is in, tier 1, 2, or 3. For the first couple of weeks, I had a tier 2 class, and then we were swapped to a tier 1. And in that class, they're not required to work on anything really specific. The RTI coordinator suggested that they work on maybe Tennessee Ready practice, and so I kind of took that up to look at that and see how they worked with that. These students had already taken part 1 of the English language arts portion of Tennessee Ready, and the next portion is coming up in May, and they have not had any kind of practice for the second portion, which is more based on content instead of writing. They haven't had any actual practice for it until we started doing it in RTI. Most of these students will not get that practice until the week before the test, which is actually this next week. This week, the test starts on Monday, and they'll start doing that this week. Also, because they're in tier 1, most of them are kind of overlooked a little bit. Tier 1 is as high as you can be, so these students kind of are already at the point where they know their stuff. They don't need as much work as the others, when in fact they do need those test-taking strategies pushed for them and reinforced for them. There's also been the issue of whether or not Tennessee Ready should be administered online or on paper. So I wanted to look at how students performed online versus how they performed using paper and other methods. So what I did was I talked with the students and told them they were going to be doing some test-taking practice and talking about test-taking strategies during RTI, which is about a 45-minute time period each day. So what they did, they completed a test. They'd already completed a test using the NIST computer services. This is an online program that is similar to the Tennessee Ready test that will help them prepare for it if they were to take it online. They also use Tennessee Ready practice tests. We use the Tennessee Crosswalk Coach practice test, a summative assessment, and also a Tennessee Ready test that resembled more of how the test would be set up. The students reviewed during RTI. We did mini lessons. I had them work on their own, complete the test on their own, and we also discussed it. And they also worked in partners on this as well. So for the results, what I did was I took their computer test, then took their paper test, compared the test to see where they did a lot better at, and then I looked at their lessons to see how they performed, just observing them, not to compile some final data, but just to get some information for myself. Overall, most of the students, with the exception of 2, completed the test better with using paper. They did much better on paper. And there were 2 students who did better on the computer, and out of the 25, 2 had no change, and 2 were not able to take the test because we weren't able to compare the data because they had not taken one of the other tests. But overall, pencil and paper is the best way to do that. I did not find that there was an actual effective method just because there wasn't enough time periods or time to determine what their test scores were after Tennessee Ready. And if I were able to do that, I feel like it would have given some better results. But overall, pencil and paper would be the best way to go, I believe, for Tennessee Ready. And there's also some information on here that tells what Tennessee Ready is, what standardized testing entails,